Hello, this is Tanya from Little Vintage Cottage, and today I wanted to share how to make these cute little Valentine gnomes. These are made with a toilet paper tube and some dollar store socks. So hopefully you can see that. They are just adorable. So I wanted to show you how to make them. They're pretty easy. So what you will need is a toilet paper tube, one of these little wooden button furniture plug button things, some embroidery floss, a pencil, some white craft glue, scissors, dollar store socks. I found these obviously at the dollar store, and they came in a pack of 3 pairs. So for the little gnome you will need 2 socks. You could use 2 of the same socks or different ones like I have here. You'll need some faux fur. I had this from, I bought a children's coat at the thrift store and cut it up because faux fur from the craft store tends to be kind of spendy. So, keep your mind open when it comes to finding this kind of stuff. Look at the thrift store, look in your own closet. Maybe you have something that you can use. If not, it doesn't take much, and you can always use a coupon at the craft store. You'll need a scrap of cardboard and some batting. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna take the batting and cut a piece. You want it to be a couple of inches wider than your toilet paper tube and about 11 inches long. And so the first thing you're going to do is you'll line up the edge, the top edge of the tube with the batting, and you just roll it up, tuck in the bottom as you go. Just roll it all up and tuck in the bottom, like so. You have a toilet paper tube. It's got the batting tucked in the bottom and it's open at the top. Next thing you're going to do is take one of your dollar store socks, and we are going to put it over the toilet paper tube. So you want the end that has the batting tucked in up, and you scrunch up your sock and just place it over the top like so. That. You also need some of these polyfill pellets, or you could use beans, you could use rice, you could use aquarium gravel, just anything that will give it a little bit of weight so your little gnome won't topple over all the time. So I used a funnel and just fill up your tube with the pellets or rice or beans or whatever you're using. Okay. And then try not to overfill it like I did. All right, so you've got your toilet paper tube filled up with the weight, and then go ahead and pull the sock all the way up, like that. Then you will take a piece of embroidery floss and tie off up here. You want to try and get it as close to the top of the tube as possible, and just It's hard, it's easier to do if you have someone to help you, but just do the best you can. Tie a knot. And then what I like to do is go around it a couple times. And just tie it again. That way it's nice and secure. Like so. And then you can trim the threads. And then cut off the top of the sock. That should be good. You can put a little bit of hot glue right here if you want to make sure. In fact, I forgot to plug my glue gun in, so hold tight just 1 second. Okay, so you have your toilet paper tube wrapped with batting, filled with the pellets, and tied. All right, so now we are going to make little feet for our gnome. So you'll take your scrap of cardboard, put your little guy on there, and just trace around him so that you can cut out your feet. You want your feet to stick out a little in the front, like that. Okay, I already have one cut out. You can see I cut, cut a little part right here so it looks like 2 little feet. Okay, then you will take this leftover piece of sock that you have, and we're going to cover the top of the feet with the sock, so that in the end his little feet will be like this. Okay, so you don't need to cover the entire piece, because this part right here is going to be covered up with your gnome body. So really we just need the front. So you take some of your white craft glue, just put some on there. Like so. Spread it around. And then slide your little gnome feet in there. And you're just going to let that dry, and then we'll trim around. So for now, just set that underneath something so that the ends of the sock don't curl up too much. Just let that dry. All right, so while that's drying, we're going to make our beard. Okay, so all you have to do is figure out which direction the fur goes. I mean, if it was, straight fur, you would want your beard to go down. This is kind of all over the place, so I don't really think it matters which direction you cut it. So you just need to basically figure out where you want your beard. Sometimes you can put on the hat to kind of gauge where your beard's going to go. So if my little gnome had his hat on, then I want his beard to go all the way up to that. And it just needs to go a little, like around halfway around the sides. So I'm going to make a little snip where that's going to be. And then I'll make a little snip for how long it's going to be. And then you just cut out your little beard. Now to cut faux fur, you just want to slide your scissors along the backing so that you're not cutting the fur on the front, because if you cut the fur along the front, you're going to end up with a unnatural blunt edge like this, and that doesn't look very cute. So you just barely slide your scissors in from the back and cut like that. Hopefully your scissors are sharper than mine. Okay. So now you've got your little square. You can round off the edges, round off the bottom edges, so his little beard is, you know, rounded. His rounded corners. Because who has a square beard? Not even a gnome. Am I right? All right. So figure out which side is the front and which is the back of your gnome. This, since you can see the toe of the sock over here, I'm going to make this the back. And so really it doesn't matter because the beard kind of covers everything up. But anyway, you will glue on your beard. So let's take a little bit of hot glue. And then along the edge. Stick it on like so. You don't have to glue the bottom edge if you don't want to. You could just do the sides. Okay. Not too cute yet, right? He will be. No worries. All right, so now you've got your beard on. You're going to put the hat back on. So you want your other dollar store sock. You're just going to slide it over the top. You want it to cover up the edge of that beard, or I guess it's mustache now on the front. And you want to pull it down in the back. Like that. So it's on at an angle. You want the heel facing the side. Like that. So you want to be able to see the heel here. Top edge will be covering the beard. And then along here, just put a little bit of glue just to tack it down so that it doesn't slide off. Along this side. Ow! Try not to burn yourself. The hazards of the crafter, am I right? That hurt. I was just watching a video today of someone making something, and she had little finger protectors. I might have to get some of those because it seems like I'm always burning myself with hot glue. So just tack all the way around. So now his little hat won't slide off. All right. Now to make his hat, we're going to tie off, take another piece of your embroidery floss and tie off the top edge of his hat. We don't want it to look like a sock on his head. We want it to look like a cute little gnome hat. So just tie that tight. A couple times. Trim the thread and then trim the top of his hat off. Okay, now pull it up. Take your finger and just tuck that heel in and then you'll fold the hat over like so. And then you can tack it down on the side with a little bit of glue. Like that. Okay, now let's see how our feet are doing. It really doesn't take that glue too long to dry. Okay, so once your sock fabric is stuck down to the top of your little foot template, you can trim it off, because you only need the fabric on the top of the template. Wow, these scissors are really dull. Okay, just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, and then you can glue your gnome down onto his feet. Okay, so let's put some hot glue on his butt and stick him down. Try not to get his beard stuck in there. Okay, just like that. Give him a couple seconds to dry. Add just a tiny bit more glue in there. All right. Now, we're going to add his nose. So the nose will go here. So the noses on little gnomes are covered up by the top edge of the hat. So you're going to pull up your little hat edge a little bit. Put a little drop of glue. Right there. And then add your nose. Just like that. Isn't that cute? Okay, and the last thing is to give him a little pom-pom to cover up this raw edge on his hat. I do not have any pom-poms, and I'm far too lazy to go to the store. Plus, it's dangerous when I go to the craft store. So I had this Pompadoodle yarn. It's just this weird yarn that has like rows of pom-poms. So anyway, I just cut off 3 of the little pom-poms and I'll just stick them together. So I'm going to go ahead and, you're probably not going to have that, so just glue a pom-pom on the end. You want to make it, don't use a little tiny pom-pom because that'll look retarded. So just hold tight with me here. just gluing these together to form one big one. Okay. So then add some glue to the edge right here of the hat and stick your pom-pom on. See, you want it to be, I guess that would be considered a large pom-pom because you don't want to be able to see the edge of the raw edge of the hat. And so you could always make a pom-pom with one of those clover pom-pom makers, or the old-fashioned way with, you know, like a piece of cardboard and wrap the yarn around it. There's lots of tutorials on how to make DIY pom-poms if you have some yarn, but most people have some pom-poms laying around. So anyway, there's your cute little gnome. Oh, actually we're going to add a little heart to his hat. My bad. Okay, just take one of the leftover pieces of the sock. I used the sock that matches his body, the one that doesn't match the hat, and just cut out a little heart, just like you used to do in grade school. You know, where you folded the piece of paper or fabric, or sock in this case, in half and cut out half of a heart shape, hopefully with scissors that are way sharper than these. Okay. Like that. And then I'm going to put it right here on his hat. So put a couple little dabs of glue. Since it's a sock, the edges want to curl, so I'm just adding glue on the top two edges of the heart and then on the bottom point, just so it will lay flat. Yikes, don't burn yourself. Okay, there, an adorable little gnome. So I hope you liked this. I promise I'll get better at videos, at YouTube videos, and this is like, I haven't done very many, so just starting out. So give me a thumbs up if you like it. I will put the link to the blog post that goes with these gnomes, so you can see the instructions written out if you like that format better. But I hope you liked this video, and happy